The reality that we face today in South Africa is that we are falling behind our African peer countries when it comes to job-creating economic growth. I'm sure that you already know that 6 of the world's 10 fastest-growing economies are African. The rest of Africa is paradoxically benefiting from the movement of capital, of skills, and of technology from China, India, and Brazil more than we are. And the combined effect of apartheid's legacy of inequality on the one hand and the spread of globalization on the other means that South Africa cannot leap towards a developed state in a single fluid movement. We have a double imperative. We must not only put right the wrongs of the past, but we must also compete with our peers throughout the continent as a nimble economy. The two imperatives are closely interconnected. During apartheid, racial separation was South Africa's defining characteristic. Black South Africans were deliberately disadvantaged and denied economic opportunities. To be black in South Africa was to be subjected to a ruthless process of asset stripping and economic restrictions. Our challenge today is to carefully make strategic interventions to counter the effects of apartheid's asset stripping and restrictions while keeping the economy competitive in the global arena. One of these interventions is black economic empowerment. The DA believes that broad-based black economic empowerment is a necessary condition for reconciliation, redress, and economic growth. And as a young political leader, I am committed to making workable proposals to make BBBEE work for the many millions of young South Africans who have yet to experience true reconciliation, and not just for an elite few. Over the coming months, my party will detail its policy alternatives in this regard. Our own unemployment rate is one of the highest in the world, and it is clustered amongst younger workers, with 71% of the unemployed under the age of 34. So if we take up the chisel and we take up the hammer and we deal a strong and decisive blow against youth unemployment, we'll start to change the destiny of our entire nation. Part of that solution must lie in creating a multitude of young entrepreneurs. The DA has developed a nuanced approach to the role of the state in the economy, one that is limited to providing an environment conducive to economic growth. This includes the provision of critical infrastructure, correcting market failures, ensuring fairness by promoting broad-based ownership and participation, and championing our firms and entrepreneurs on the global stage. We agree that the government's infrastructure investment program, announced by President Jacob Zuma earlier this year, is appropriate to help tackle poverty and social exclusion. The other part of the equation is entrepreneurship. It is estimated that 80% of new jobs globally are created in the small and medium-sized business sectors. This depends on the right policy framework, which the DA believes lies at the intersection of the economy and education. If we don't get this half of the equation right, our children will be paying for the other half, infrastructure, for a very, very long time. South Africa, I believe, happens to be a natural entrepreneurial society. It's written into our national DNA. We see our entrepreneurial spirit all around us, from sidewalk vendors to our huge taxi industry to our sophisticated financial industry. Today, South Africa needs policies that promote entrepreneurialism. The Western Cape Minister of Finance, Alan Winde, is writing a new narrative on the role of smart government to bolster growth to the level of other emerging markets. Tomorrow, the Western Cape Economic Development Partnership will be launched as an independent, membership-based, not-for-profit company to lead, coordinate, and drive the Western Cape's economic delivery system. The cornerstone of this program is the prioritization of support for small and medium-sized businesses. In the last year, the partnerships between the Department of Economic Development and Tourism and other SMME support organizations saw about 7,900 existing and startup businesses being given support. The Minister also announced that the Western Cape Government, in partnership with a major commercial bank, will allocate funds to support SMMEs to improve their chances of accessing communal funding and increasing business sustainability. South Africans possess the imagination to make life in our country and in our world better, kinder, and more fun. The role of the government is to help them release that ability. And my party, the Democratic Alliance, will do everything in its power to support this effort. Thank you very much.